wetin people dey love. What you get, I shall get it love. This love, and I wanna get another one. I go take and do wetin I love, wetin you love. Oh, no be wetin I love. Oh, wetin I love. I go do and with all my heart. Oh, go no be vodka. Mr. Money Changer, but I know the ways that Mr. I want to hear wetin people dey love. What you get, I shall get it love. This love, and I wanna get another one. I go take and do wetin I love, wetin you love. Oh, no be wetin I love. Oh, wetin I love. I go do and with all my heart. Oh, go no be vodka. Mr. Money Changer, but I know the ways that Mr. I want to hear wetin people dey love.
So we corner when we need 4th November now. Obekwa join Butterfly na Motuabo.
One cancer.
That's the rumor.
No, it's not true. It's not true.
Really?
No, it's not true.
When we need 4th November now, on free MPP.
Condition. Not yes, mean free, but metinum, no metitio.
Ah, wow, party.
Yeah, metitio. What do you say? Ah, me say ye kotua bay. If they don't repeat the 26th August there, it will have any problem. I'll support. Then, if they repeat 26th August here, I'll give them a showdown. And there are no two ways about it.
You get next.
I got it, baby. Yes, sir, me say, me a very fair-minded person. I'm not asking too much.
Okay.
Yeah, sunlight decently. Dr. Bawumia Winnie, I will support.
Okay.
Bemom, aha, sutro, wom, way, ya buru way, ya tia way, and obi musu ombe yam. Na me sister mama building no. Womun ko bisa, NCA boss no. Baby a, ya starti. Minisi e West Orange, and ya starti. And you woman say, woman, ebe yam. Obia, ubatuwa bana bia, Siki ade mama to brodo to coke to nsuo gina ho ye ka agent ne ade ba no na wo de akura di kai dada na your system no fast me dia me ka je me am so be wi an ma edin me ka we ahye mu nkura say I built my system
right
me nyam resource and we a bear man who say azimi say me 52%. What's the what you Jim get Japan say am 46. Ghana ha. Better na ejuma. But if Dr. Bawumia gets 52%, me 46, I'll support.
Right.
I'll support. So I'm only asking for fairness. Sa campaign now mko King's Hotel o Sahino. Huh? Crystal. Yanso ayi 2016 I want to be security for Goguyo. What they this time? One sako campu one pay unity party mu asani ma womu nyai because me ya worse than Lala. Well yeah, me can tell. Some media me ya worse than Lala. Why my fairness and my power? I'll give them a showdown. And I'm home soon. Upa man knows you because Oma two trusting them. One deputy minister waha. Etimi catcher A+ so abano de kan de yam fama no and A+ bisa ne say na kan Japan man fama no a we are sure say mo di man di personal say obawu no so want to me ni tie be kwa kopa de chew yeah and ya me ba no ba MP so airport wa kwa catcher me ye wi ya na be pa ne chew te ma jimi yenti ye be yusu me ni adompo me na wo nzigani e jimi fo ban ombe wo se me mo cash na me nusu ye kra no me birthday nice Rolls Royce na jirom se nya president nkwa na betinya ye but e was say Ghana ye gisi wo enam police station executive bra wo ma bre enam Ghana fo e bre enyuma ye yankopon sase odi a cheyen ye tia ma China fo enye sika India fo enye sika Lebanese fo enye sika na ye mi akụ ediminya my sister we need to change the economy
right Alfred Dodu and so say the okay na ideas here will share with us and guess say last year ya for the government no ka wait to me this support na dia ma wa ben na
mo fa on betimi dia ye adwuma
okay
ba me nyame ka tourism no nyina nso musi sobolo na fe me nyare bi
Sobola se we the honorable
because papa a whole tourism minister say ye obi ewuo no a omo ne no now the bus are funny pegum now you don't be drinking sobolo and Jesus Christ. Maybe nice guys with sharp brains.
I said,
who are big.
Swag be say.
Oh, you know, baby. Me yanam yam mo friend ya na catch us a Western region. Owadoye. Enti mo wade ye e Western region. All the natural resources amowo we're going to develop this region. Bonsai will revive it. What do you say? Timber, sawmills are ebetimi aye factories are through the sawmill ye furniture export akọ eniskaba gold no wasa siso ebetimi. Oh yeah, tourism. Meridi Moibi, Pristia, Sir Charles McCarthy. Ho ena onu ankasa eboard hutio. The battle of Fiifi with the Ashantis are omune wasase se before kabomu na wemunso ne for kabomu din to kwani sienin. When the Ashantis defeated him, ewo Pristia, eno onu ankasa shutu no, ena Asante-Mparey twa ni ti no e de call Kumasi. What you say? This is big money. Pristia for TME. This is big money. And we're going to have a nice museum. I hear the statue of Sir Charles McCarthy and this Ashantis. What you say? Nice restaurant to Nyesobolo type. What you say? Nice restaurant. You enter the place, you enjoy and feel like yes, a human being. I have traveled far, come to Africa, and I've enjoyed African cuisines.
Question be about Mammy Bisa na yenye.
May you ready?
Obisi mi Bisa say reshuffle abai by onye will take on it.
I have a problem with that. And Tina ministers be here with impunity. I have a big problem with that. Now me no reshuffle no and yet 2 years, 4 years, 2 months.
Oh, none of ministers need to mean you.
Now I you know could this car you buy out. You're out. You're out. Madam, yes, sir. Yen develop. Yeah, uko Wikipedia. Now suffer be pacho. Or hine de kente be pacho politician wa bio business. No threaten to send your MPP for a bowura UTV. I mean, what is this? You can't do that in any country. You cannot. Sir, motunya bowura a private TV and radio station. Say and come some mamunti. Wow. All this must change. MPP for Guya Numasi. Omu Guya Numasi. President Ibanu was or the liberty, journalism, media, and all those things. If the idea ne buy no person every TV station and I say media no a candy papa who was some near one cabian no more bold hope.
So corner when we need for
Sorry, I was on mute. Good afternoon, good evening to you, good morning to you, depending which part of the world you are. My name is Fiifi Asante-Mparey. Welcome again on Hit Africa TV. Tonight or this evening, I'm going to be your host again, taking you through what we have for you on Touch on the News with Fiifi Asante-Mparey. We heard Kennedy Japan speaking there, and it's very very funny, isn't it? Very hilarious, very funny. Kennedy's idea of tourism is to put the statue of Sir Charles McCarthy in Pristia, where he was fighting with Asantes and what have you, where he was he shot himself, he committed suicide, and then the Asantes actually did a gruesome act back in the days by totally taking his head off and taking the head to Ashanti region. So that is his idea of tourism in Ghana, boosting tourism in Ghana. This is your NPP people talking. That is your president, the person who wants to be a president. That is his idea of tourism in Ghana. Is unbelievable. And there's a profound statement that he made. He was asked, is he going to leave the NPP? He said, no, he's not. He's going to be in there, but he's going to frustrate them. In local language, metitio, he said. Very funny. Once again, good evening to you. As I was saying, please, if you are first time here, it's Hit Africa TV. If you haven't subscribed it on Facebook, on YouTube, please do so. And also, if you have already subscribed to it, please share the links across friends, families, and then let's do this together. We've said it from day one that 2024 election is a national service, and all of us have to be on board. All of us have to work together. So let's keep sharing. Let's keep doing the work for the mother Ghana. Thank you. This evening, I'm back on my seat. There are a few things that we are about to go through. And first on my list tonight is there is a gruesome story again about Ghana. And what very, very gruesome story. Very, very, very gruesome story about Ghana and about what this NPP administration is doing to our beloved country. I'm going to read the entire story, first of all, and then we will pick the pieces up from there. There is a company called Trafigari, and this Trafigari company, they are power producers, energy producers. So countries, they sign big contracts with countries to do with power or energy if you are in need of it. And then they will come install their generators or whatever means that they use to provide power, and then they will be providing you these powers. And it's happened that during NDC administration, I'm just giving you a brief overview of what happened. NDC administration, government of Ghana at that time, the NDC government entered into agreement with this company who were working back then locally with one of our local companies, which I'll be reading and be mentioning all of them, their names very, very soon. And the agreement we went into, which was a 4-year term of agreement, NPP came into power and NPP ripped that agreement into pieces. In other words, NPP found a way, or they thought they found a way to terminate their contract or to terminate the agreement, which I believe the Attorney General, Godfrey Dame, may have got his bearings totally wrong, whether he did not look at the consequences on the contract, because there's always a penalty to pay in contract termination. Even our little businesses that we do, we put in clauses to ensure that our clients cannot just get up overnight and say, hey, I'm not doing the business anymore, and rip that agreement into pieces. How much more? Multi-million pounds company. So they took us to court, and there has been a judgment debt. My apologies, judgment debt. And this judgment debt is now looming on Ghana, is because we have, or the government in power, or the administration in power. I don't like we have, because I don't want to put myself in it, although I'm a Ghanaian. I don't want to put myself in it because this has been done by a particular people, And what this administration, this NPP administration have done is they've gone to sleep, left that agreement or the court order unattended without speaking or negotiating anything with this company. And now it's gotten to a point that if we are not lucky, Ghanaians' assets in the United Kingdom with regards to our properties, which they've mentioned too, the one in Highgate, which is the visa processing center and passport processing center, and also the one at bank where Ghana International Bank is on Cheapside. Those of you who knows London very well, it's a prime location. It's the center of town. Center of town, super prime location. That property will worth millions of pounds, and these assets might be auctioned. So I'm going to have a look at how it started, or I've already given you an overview of how the whole thing started, and we are going to have a quick read of what is actually happening. So please bear with me. This is really worrying. Sorry, 1 second. This is really worrying, and it's something we have to discuss because it's of national interest, and I believe it's of public interest as well, so the public has to know. We all know Dr. Kwamina Donko, and Dr. Kwamina Donko has spoken. And what did he say about this judgment debt? Dr. Kwamina Donko is a renowned NDC member, a former minister, I believe. And he is actually a former power minister under the John Dramani Mahama. Yes, so he's a former minister under John Dramani Mahama administration. And he has spoken. What did he say? He said, credit to John Online, because John Online actually posted this. So I'm reading this from John Online. He said, terminating of GPGC contract didn't make sense. Kwamina Donko on 140 million judgment debt. It's crazy. I'm going to read everything and then we'll take it from there. A former power minister under the John Mahama administration, Dr. Kwamina Donko, has stated that the decision by government to terminate the Ghana Power Generating Company, which is the GPGC contract, leading to a judgment debt of 140 million, made no sense commercially and legally at the time. The Pro East MP wants Parliament to probe the former energy minister, Boachi Ejako, and other officials of the current government who took the decision, insisting the reason given for the termination are unattainable. Trafigura, I believe that is how the company is pronounced. Trafigura is the company who GPGC, which is the took the contract or signed the contract on behalf of. So Trafigura is the parent company, somebody will say. Trafigura, the majority owner of the power company GPGC, secured the award in January 2021 after an arbitral tribunal in London found that Ghana had unlawfully terminated a contract for the installation and operation of 2 power plants. So these, all right, let me carry on and I'll give my commentary later on. As a result, the Ghana High Commission building in the UK which provides visa and other services, the commissioner's residence, the International Bank building, and other properties are at risk of being auctioned to defray 140 million judgment debt awarded to Singaporean firm Trafigura. The government says the finance minister has taken steps to liquidate the debt, but Ghana High Commission to the United Kingdom, Papa Owusu Ankoma, believes the financial constraints of the government are to blame for the default in the payment agreed with the judgment creditors. Upon the advice of the Attorney General in 2017, that is Godfrey Dame again, the government terminated the deal on grounds that due to its attendant high tariffs, if implemented, would have cost the state $115,480,000 US. It also cited illegality for what of capacity of which is GPGC enter into a PPA, which is the power purchasing agreement, failure to obtain siting and construction permit, installation of use plan, contrary to policy, and failure on the part of the GPGC to fulfill some conditions, among others. But the former power minister said all the PPAs signed in 2016, the GPGC was the cheapest and had the shortest lifespan of the 4 years. Speaking on PM Express on Tuesday, October 24th, he also argued that the failure of the government to negotiate the termination and opt for reasonable option is to blame for the situation at hand. It was very avoidable, as I have always said. Let me quickly say this. This was the cheapest of all the emergency power plants in terms of cost. It was also, so this is the former minister talking, Dr. Kwamna Donko. So I'm going to quote that part again. Where was I? Okay, yeah. Also, this was the cheapest of all the emergency power plants purchased in terms of cost. It was also the shortest because it was for 4 years. There was no requirement for the government of Ghana to put down a guarantee. And then again, the total capacity charge made of capital recovery fixed ONM and non-fuel variable on ONM came to 4 cents per kilowatt. It was the cheapest at the time of all the emergency power plant we bought, and we brought in. Pardon me. I beg your pardon. Pardon me. It was the cheapest at the time of all the emergency power plants we brought in. And so it couldn't have been on the basis of cost. Dr. Kwamna Donko also explained that the government claimed that GPGC failed to obtain siting and construction permits was neither here nor there, since that responsibility was partly on the state, as stated in the PPAs, which is the power purchasing agreement. Every contract, at least power contract, contained condition of termination. My worry at that time, and I raised the alarm, was that the letter signed by then Energy Minister Boachi Ejaku stated that Trafigura, or the Ghana Power Generation Company, GPGC, which was the subsidiary we had signed the contract with, had not obtained all the necessary Energy Commission permits. So it goes on and goes on and goes on. It goes on and it goes on and it goes on and it goes on. And we have issue at hand. Now, the former Minister of Energy, Dr. Kwamra Donko, has explained why that deal shouldn't have been terminated. Godfrey Dame, our Attorney General, they based their termination, including, and we will hear it from one of Ejaku's video or interview that he recently did. We will hear it that Ejaku was making the point that Parliament has been lied to because Trafigura at that time did not have the right pen where they will install their plans, and also the plans were outmoded, or some of them were old. But Dr. Kwamra Donko also makes the argument that that plant was not the only plant that was old. There were other plants which were second-hand that the government brought in. We needed emergency power. We had to do something. Doomsaw was at that time damaging businesses. The same NPP was at the back of NDC government at that time, the John Dramani Mahama administration, with regards to Doomsaw. John Mahama had to do something. NDC administration had to do something at that point. So they went in with these companies, looked into the cheapest deal at that time. At that time. And it's important we add that to it at that time. And got that into Ghana. 4 years agreement. How long does it take? 4 years comes quick. Typical example is the Ameri deal. NPP made so much noise about the Ameri deal. They've made noise about other power purchasing agreement that was signed by the NDC. Having said that, same people who were in opposition, who made that noise, came to power, and they have extended some of these PPAs, power purchasing agreement contract, beyond the years that even the NDC signed. Some of them have been extended to 10 years. The NDC might have signed 5 years, 6 years. They've extended some of them to 10 years. Having said that, same people were saying these were bad deals. How could a bad deal and a bad purchasing now be extended? It was the political game that the NPP played when they were in opposition. Because when they were in opposition, they made so much noise about the PPAs at that time, and they made it a point in their manifestos and the things that they said to Ghanaians that we are coming, and when we come, we will do this. They were trying to terminate contracts without even looking into those contracts very well. And that, to me, was the problem. That was the issue. And it was worrying. It was very worrying that now it has landed Ghana in a situation that we, the country, didn't want ourselves to be in. And we are there. We've been cornered. We are now been, the country Ghana has now been left between the rock and the hard surface with regards to this deal. They should have just allowed the deal to run for 4 years. That would have been done and dusted. Looking at the monies involved, the monies quoted, with regards to what the country might lose today, the assets lose. Even if they don't lose those assets, we're going to pay this money through our noses as a country. As a country. So, Kwamra Donko spoken his head on Ejaku But before I will do that, producer, could you play the video of Ejaku for me? An interview Ejaku had. Thank you.
And omu negotiations. And what send me contractor or no terms of reference. Omu ye omwetuma. Na answer na we nyina eba. Me ho ya nka me the 2 documents bi by. Yewra Gabi Ochredako. Ni Facebook. No atro bi bitin. Say me so nyuma djuma. Gabi. Na president na me pedi. Na me share bibi free Akufo-Addo ho. Or no, even though no pe president didn't or son Kufo.
Okay.
Into me so me share Akufo-Addo example. Na me share so nyuma djuma. Ase na Manase Azuri. Ono so be postal say the Gabi kanu ye no kwe enti ye nyimedi.
Okay.
This was in July. Man can read. Wayna ye dia kon ye ba ye ko ye ba. Na me call conference bi o Houston. Energy, oil and gas conference bi o Houston. Me kodru airport.
Asante-Mparey FM.
Emails. Gabi Ochredako.
Okay.
Ne complain is what try so be frame na me fi no. Na didn't na ono frame ya na me fi na say masa me to play mu yenfa course. Oh, I didn't know that. Anyway, was sending me documents.
Asante-Mparey FM 107.3.
Me through the hotel and I me be a document.
Asante-Mparey FM.
Say committee president ate omu yo mujuma. Gabi so akofa another law firm. Any woman negotiations for. Omu ni omu ye negotiations for. Crawford no akoye no.
Gabi Ochredako ne Crawford akoye.
Akoye no. Namtem banyere. Ena me bisa ne say, Papa, on what authority ena wakodi say adwuma? Because me minister cabinet among instructions. Ye did cabinet instructions. Into dear panty and a war fetchly akoye sadiwe. Now, in any case, I said, I only take my instructions from the president. Mailer response or demand and say, what makes you think you're my boss? What makes you think, say, your boss doesn't know about this? And I'm a calm and tune. Inti me back and I'm called president. And I'm the papa asemwesi. And I'm a born a money. And Obisa me said, dear any what contract no Gabi no akoya. Me sha men pencil. Nam so. Near dikai. Authority I de koye sa de no. Any Gabi.
Asante-Mparey FM 107.3.
Cabinet instructions here they are nyina. They are all being violated. Nya Mary near new omuye negotiations. E metka. Instructions say convert this thing from an emergency power agreement to a standard power agreement.
Okay.
PPS in Egumo emergency, which is 5 to 7 years, or standard 15 years. And to say instruction is a standard agreement. That means we are looking at 15 years. The only 20 years. So no. instruction say nye Ameri ene oni omusi ye adwuma no na mo metka. But in this contract Ameri for no say omo na ekope new investor amaye. And I'm saying that be tibichire mu no president's response was okay. The odia bani nyina no memfa nkoma Addison in the committee.
The Gabi Diabano.
Memfa nkoma committee because omo na ye ho adwuma nyame.
So now we initial correspondence with Gabi no na what was the reason?
Well, seven am yes sector minister.
And a Gabi ekuta position by.
Well, any do who na no ebisa. Because post nyam na mche.
I'm asking because per the occasion.
And into the name ebisa and say on what authority has he done that? And when you know, oh, he just wants to help. Now say I'm say fine. President can say memfa documentation in anko dan committee or mu yeju. Me de come on. Emails ni ade nyina me push ma on. So no. Edna Addison so mu. When si abotre Edna netiko paye. Ene ye ko ye ba ye ko ni. Edru baby no. Na ayire sebenta. Eno ntina meti ase de kudie ntia
Asante-Mparey FM 107.3.
Thank you money no.
Ye pam. Panyin pa ewo Ghana. Eka kire won se committee eneme adwuma a omo ye no president mfuaso.
Okay.
Nemo mia na me de mepe. I am acting on my own volition.
Okay.
Mia na me de mepe ye de omo ye. Nti mo mfi me. Na unim nipa kra ni ni mudro a oka sa aseme oso mo ginedi. Enti no mo sam so bai epa mo microphone fi.
Na ye ho ya.
E modin si se ye se asab no e ma wache a o ma no di na awia. Asab no de no beba o.
Ebre ben no beba.
Asem bia
enye bre ye ni honorable. Akra enye bre ye ni.
Asem bia wo ne mbre ene bia ye kan. Wan kan ne mre so a enye de. Wan kan bia cross so a entwa yi. Ibenya abutre. So no. Ebayire so ma pai. But animu he ya de. Sa na asem na koye. Committee na ye omadwuma edru baby no na yire sebenta ekwa enko because omunnim se de ye no enkusi aga tedru baby na mkobo president amane say look baby edru no ebi asa na ebenya no changes are you betumi aya that place in fact edru baby no the metaphor no cry na Addison ni they walked out, they left the country.
Okay. Why?
Because net negotiations no and shedan ko yesa. They left the country. And ye no unko kasa no mo sign by. Omo buy ye krem na parliamentary session no so eguso. Ni nyina nkamfu ano. The decision was baby aye dro no. Say ye ntimi make progress.
Asante-Mparey FM 107.3.
At the end of the day, no, baby aye dro no. Na air forcing in power purchase agreement.
Okay.
All right. Any year said the parliament. Now year said the parliament. No, a lot of things surprised me about a lot of people. Honorable Atachia, we share the parliament. Or one name is say me nim na me decide the ba parliament. Or be mobilize the whole of parliament to throw it out. So what can do? Me ye de yasuma mi o. And also o dia work and work. Man fa nya se bia. Fin swa. Afi edru say ye de be parliament. Ye initial document ni wi. And now President Fred me chairman Sabunsu.
My apologies. My apologies once again. My system was absolutely muted. Thank you. So for listening to Mr. Ejako over there. His explanation about this Ameri deal with Gabioche Daku's trying to run a deal alongside Gabioche Daku using such words as, what do you make you think that your boss doesn't know about it, and what have you? All these kind of moves, I'll call it, speaks volumes. And it tells every single Ghanaian the part that this administration, this NPP administration have played and got Ghana in the mess that we are in today. The mess that we are in today as a country. There has been power brokers, people who wanted to benefit. And when I say people, people within this NPP current administration who at the back of it wanted to also benefit from the various power purchase agreements or deals with companies. How could a sector minister who has been given the mandate to negotiate a deal will be working? And Gabi, a man who holds no portfolio in government, will call the shots. And president will say, okay, everything that you've done or found, you bring it. They take it and it's dumped somewhere. Is the president part of the whole mess? To do with today's, the judgment debt, the other deals, is the president? I'm only asking a question. Does he have a hand in all of this? Look, we have to be careful as Ghanaians. And we need to, it's about time we call people out, we call things out. And Jakun has so much to say. He has so much to say. He said he has now released a statement. He has now released a statement. You know what happened? He wanted to say more. He wanted to say a lot more. That is the truth. Because I can tell you, Boache Jakun, Mr. Boache Jakun, there is so much, because when the presenter asked him, Jaku's word was, there is a time and a place to say things, and that time and the place will come. The case will bring itself. Now the case has brought itself, because now some of these power purchasing agreements is landing Ghana or Ghana's assets to be auctioned in United Kingdom. Ghana International Bank at Cheapside is now at risk. North London, is it Hillgate or Highgate? It's called Highgate. I think the road is Hillgate. I'm not sure, but at Highgate, the Visa and Processing Center is at risk. The High Commissioner in London, his main residence, where he lives, is at risk. Today, same High Commissioner is commenting and saying, oh, because of the financial constraint on government, that is why we haven't been able to pay this, and now it has put us in this situation. You will be homeless. You will be homeless because all of you have contributed to what we are in as a country today. Ghana High Commissioner, you will be homeless. You will be homeless very soon. I wish it doesn't happen, but it's looming. And you know why it's looming? Because when you are in a government and your government begin to do things which are not good, speak out. You people in government gave Ekufuado and some of these people in administration like Gabi Ochredako, Bedi Etuo, Bamti, you gave this Ekufuado and his siblings or his brothers or his family too much authority over Ghana. How can one person have so much power over a country? You never put Ekufuado and his brothers in check. Didn't we hear audio when they were striking a deal on percentage, negotiating on percentages with Gabi and Bonti and somebody else? Didn't we get the audio? The Ejapadia document, haven't we read it? We've gone to sleep. Or we've walked into these problems as a country. And every time the opposition raise something, always opposition is a lie, then they will rubbish it. And then they will push it away. And then they will rubbish it. And today, the chicken has come home to be roasted. Today, the chicken has come home to be roasted. What did they have to say? We have Attorney General Godfrey Dame, who is a local champion. Local champion. Ordering things about Cecilia Dapa and this and that. And things which are not so important. That you can leave the various authorities to do their work. For you to keep an eye on the ball, the big fish, no. He's looking for low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruits. And today, I believe this was the case that came to London, that they tried to hire Tony Blair's wife, Sherry Blair's law firm, to go and represent Ghana for them. And they were told that it was too late. This was the case. Now we have 140 million judgment debt hanging on Ghana. We have, with the IMF conditionalities, we have external debt to negotiate or to restructure, involving very complicated countries like China. We've slept walk into this. Now, Ejaku has released statement. I believe Ejaku, as Ejaku said in his statement, that there is a place and a time that we say things. I believe that place and the time has come. So Ejaku has to come out and spill all the beans. He has to come out and defend himself. So let's read Boakye Daku's statement. This afternoon, Boakye Daku took to Twitter and he released a statement. This is what I'm going to read. The statement is the producer have put it out there. But what Boakye Daku, if you go to Boakye Daku's official Twitter, this statement is there. He released it today, dated 26 October 2023. I think it came out around early afternoon. And the Boakye Chirematin Ejaku. And then he says for immediate release. So I'm going to read through. I'll say, my attention has been drawn to some very unfortunate an ill-informed statement by Honorable Kwamra Donko on the termination of the GPGC power purchase agreement. I deem the utterances most unfortunate and irresponsible coming from a former minister who ought to know that it is not within manpower or province or that of any minister to unilaterally cancel or terminate a contract of this nature. And I'm going to take it paragraph by paragraph. All Boakye Jackson is trying to say is he's pointing finger at the government. That is the government. And I kind of side with him here. I totally agree with Boakye Jackson here. Why am I saying that? Because Godfred Dame, the Attorney General, he has to check all the contracts to ensure that legally the termination, we can do it, that will cost us minimum on possibly will not bring any lawsuit into the country. So Godfred Dame, the Attorney General, failed in his work. He failed. He came to court here and he gave excuses of COVID. In the serious jurisdiction, there are no excuses. You cannot use COVID, nothing as an excuse, as you guys have been doing that. The judge did not listen to him. Let's carry on. So Adaku said, upon assumption of office, the newly elected NPP government decided to take all the necessary actions to contain the cost of power generation and distribution in Ghana. It became necessary to review the implementation of the many power purchasing agreements, PPAs, because should all of them be implemented as originally scheduled, it will result in the production of excess energy in its attendant cost, which worsens the financial situation of the power sector. The review was therefore to help cut back on losses that would be incurred. Boakye Jackson, I have an issue here. Okay? I have an issue here. You saying that the government took it upon himself. The very statement that you are or you've written here contradicts with the very things that you said in an interview. The government took it upon himself. That is correct. But they did not take it upon themselves because they wanted to reduce costs, because they wanted to have a hand in the new contract and also have their cutbacks. And non officially, you can't say that. That was one of the reasons why Gabi Ochredaku was undermining your ministry and undermining your position by putting his own team together and sending things to the president and then calling you whilst you are on the flight. Let's be truthful to ourselves. Let's be very truthful to ourselves. This NPP, your NPP has not helped Ghana. This your NPP. You guys made noise about Amari. Today, where is Amari? Amari is in Ashanti region. Amari is in Ashanti region. When Ashanti Hine Otunfo or say to Otikokoso complain about power fluctuations, that his refrigerators and what have you are being damaged, the Amari was transported straight to Ashanti region. When you guys were making noise about Amari, did you ever thought that today Amari will be one of the issues that will be resolved power issues or energy issues in the Ashanti region? You tell me. You never thought about that. When John Mahama was signing Amari Day, you guys were making noise. You guys were making noise. But now Ghana has come to own the Amari plant. These were some of the deals that were done. Let's carry on. He said an interministerial committee was set up under the chair of Energy Commission to review the fiscal and legal implication of power purchasing agreement PPAs executed by the Electricity Company of Ghana, ECG. The 18-member committee was chaired by Dr. Alfred Owusu Ahinkora, Executive Secretary of the Energy Commission. Its report was submitted on 5th April 2019 under reference, and is given the reference there. The report was subsequently put before Cabinet for consideration and action. Cabinet directed that the report be further reviewed by the Attorney General. This was done. Cabinet subsequently gave its approval for the recommendation of the report to be implemented. In respect of the GPGC PPA, the report recommended the termination of the PPAs with capacity of 107 megawatts, executed between government and GPGC, which the parent company is Trafigura, at the estimated loss of 18 million, or pay excess capacity charge of 24.90 million per annum over the contract period of 4 years. This is an emergency plant with a 5-year PPA. Used plant, not new. A high tariff major equipment has arrived at the Tema port, awaiting tax exemption to clear. Remarks from the report follows. Based on the 2018 to 2030 demand-supply capacity balance and the tariff rank of this project, the full capacity of this project will be SS into bracket ideal, resulting in estimated total cost of $115.48 million within the duration of the PPA. So he goes on in his last 2 paragraphs to state that, let me get that part. The likelihood of the plant being idle is further heightening by the fact that it is a pure natural gas fired turbine to be located in Tema, where there is inadequate gas to feed it. There is therefore a high probability of the plant remaining idle even if allowed to proceed. Based on the decision of Cabinet, I, as Minister, initiated the process by informing all interested parties of this decision and requested that the decision be implemented. At the time I left office, the government of Ghana and GCGP consequently began negotiations to give effect to the decision to terminate. There are the facts, these are the facts which I know are available to the Honorable Minister and signed by Boache Chiramatin Ejakun. So that is Boache Ejakun's statement that he released early this afternoon, taking himself out, passing the ball and throwing the ball to the Cabinet and also to the Attorney General, who was instructed to look into all this, and apparently he did. And this was what his recommendation yielded Ghana as a country. 140 million US dollars judgment debt looming upon the state of Ghana. Look at the troubles that we have. From the voter spillage or dam spillage, intentionally dam spillage, self-inflicted problem into that part of Ghana, to IMF, to our economy. They will say we've turned the corner, where we haven't even seen the corner. All the way looking at inflation, looking at job losses and joblessness, all the way down to negotiating external debts, people that we owe, who are not even on the table yet, to negotiate that with us. But everything we are talking about, or our finance minister is talking about, is based on hope. Is based on hope. Is based on hope. Now, to this kind of debt again hanging on us, it's alarming. It's alarming. It seems this NPP administration brought nothing to Ghana but problems. They brought nothing to Ghana but problems. Everything they touch seems to turn to dust. This ineptitude government have put up a display to the world and to Ghana that they are not fit for purpose. Yes, though, they're holding on into power. Yes, though, mocking Ghanaians and even making a fool out of themselves that they're going to break 8 to rule again. The question I have is, which Ghanaian in their right mind will go and queue coming 2024, sit in that queue to go and vote NPP again? This is a government who has wiped out or nearly wiped out the middle class in Ghana by reducing their investment to nothing. Their investment in bonds, their investment in other government bonds to nothing. To absolutely nothing. Now, Ghana International at Cheapside, which is the place it is called Bank. Do you know how many countries owns properties there? Not a lot. Not a lot. Nkrumah did so well. Kwame Nkrumah did so well to ensure that Ghana will have all these flagship assets, properties scattered around the world. The one in Belgravia, the one in Cheapside Bank that they use for Ghana International, that today is in danger. There were others that were sold in the past. The residence of the Ghana High Commissioner Nkrumah even acquired cemetery at some point for Ghanaians here. What is left over now is in danger because of this reckless ineptitude NPP government and NPP administration. How long can we sit back and happen before our eyes? whilst these people enrich themselves, whilst they take Ghanaians for a fool, whilst they live extravagantly, whilst other people are struggling to even have Gary. Go to Volta region today. Go to the affected areas today. People cannot afford Gary. Their livelihood is gone. Livelihood is gone. We cannot sit back and watch this government anymore. Ghanaians have to speak out. Those who can demonstrate have to demonstrate. We cannot sit back for our assets to be sold because of their negligence. Godfrey Dame, the local champion attorney general, the local champion attorney general, when they get people like Good Evening Ghana, Paula Domotri, bigging them up, they see themselves as they've arrived. When they get to the West to come and defend Ghana in cases, they realize that these are what it takes and do not have negotiation skills. You couldn't negotiate with Singaporean company Trafigura, who is the sister company to the GPGC. Trafigura is the sister company. They own the biggest share for GPGC. The good news is this company, Trafigura, who is the sister company to GPGC, is still doing business in Ghana today. So hopefully, it might be too late, but hopefully there's a glimpse of hope. They might be able to go and speak to them and negotiate something. Because they are still doing business in Ghana today. It's worrying. And it's a sad story. But that is our predicament as a country. Because we have clueless people at the helm of of affairs. And all they think about is breaking the 8. Even when they have years. They started breaking the 8 3 years ago. Meanwhile, they have 3 years to even rectify. You have been given power. You have been given the mandate. Or you've taken the mandate. You have not even finished your 4 years. Instead of looking into the things that you could do better to improve, you are rather seeking the 4 years ahead again. 4 years to do what? 4 years to do what? I'm going to end this video by asking Boakye Ejakun, the former minister of the sector. He said, Boakye Ejakun, anybody that is watching me can maybe cut this part of the video and send it to Boakye Ejakun. Boakye Ejakun said in his interview at Asante-Mparey FM that there is a time and a place that he will speak and spell out everything. I believe this is the time, Boakye Ejakun. Boakye Ejakun, this is the time and the place. You might not get opportunity again. There is more than what you've put in out in Twitter. Come out. Your MPP, you and I know, and everybody knows your MPP no egu. Your MPP has failed, Poto. MPP has failed miserably. Miserably. And do you not be tribalistic? Do not be partisan and say, even though I know my MPP are good, my MPP has failed, I'm still going to defend my MPP. Please don't do it. Come out and tell the Ghanaians the truth. Come out. Maybe this is your last chance, or your if not your last chance, it's your moment for you to redeem yourself and say to Ghanaians, we wanted to do things right, but these people did not allow us. And we know MPP, people in this cabinet, and many people in this administration have done bad things. That was the Bawumia. There was a Bawumia story as well. Then when Bawumia was sent to China to go and negotiate bauxite on behalf of Ghana, what Bawumia went and did there was very unfortunate and bad for the country. All these will come back and haunt them at the appropriate time. That is another story for another time, not today. Watch it, Jaco. You know the right thing. Hence, do the right thing. Come out. Tell Ghanaians the truth. Name and shame people in this administration who have done this to Ghana. That is all I've got to say to Boache Jaco. I'm going to acknowledge few people here that I can see on my screen. Kewo Echia, he says, please join and share. Thank you, Osu Echia. Becky Stone is also here. He said, good evening, Comrade Fiifi, Asante-Mparey. Good evening to you, Sister Becky Stone. Florence Ama, I hope you well. He said, hello, brother. Well, welcome. Okay, welcome. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I know I've been missing in action. There is so much that we will bring to you via Hit Africa TV. So those of you, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Also keep sharing. Let's share the link, the YouTube link, the Facebook link. Hit Africa is going to be big. Is the place to be. So let's keep sharing, and then let's catch on the news. That is what I have for you tonight. My name is Fiifi Asante-Mparey. Thanks for your time this evening to staying with me to touch on the news with Hit Africa TV. I will end here. As I said last week, I'm going to do the Ejapadia narration. We're going to look at the Ejapadia document and do a whole narration, remind Ghanaians how this government or this administration has been operating based on the Ejapadia document that was released. Is exactly what it is. How Bawumia was cut to be imposed on Ghanaians and what have you. So we're going to deal with this Ejapadia document to remind Ghanaians that this NPP or this NPP administration is a very dangerous administration, and we have to be careful of them. That is why coming 2024 December, we all have to go and do the right thing by doing our national service and voting this NPP administration out. Thank you for being here. God bless you, and God bless you, and God bless you again. God bless the NDC party. God bless Mother Ghana. And God bless us all. Good evening to you once again, and bye now.
But I know the ways that